Hello, people. Man, let's talk about the man, the myth, and apparently the busiest guy in New York City, Prince Harry. Now, listen, this week, it has been the definition of a whirlwind. Your boy has been out here showing us how it is done. Yes. He has been charismatic, compassionate, and clearly more organized than most of us. I don't know whether I could do what he's doing right now. Honestly, we always think that these things are easy until we're put in this situation. And then we can't find out the right um if you're going out with your shoes, you have to make sure that your shoes that you're wearing are the right ones for the right outfit, for the right place, for the right speech. You know, he is moving from room to room, rubbing elbows with world leaders and talking about real global issues, the kind that regular folks like us only read about in a tweet thread. Before we get into it though, how are you all doing? Welcome to Isabella Bank's YouTube channel. I am Wheezy and I am so excited to be here if you can't tell from my voice. We have a lot to get through. I am so glad that I am Team Sussex. How about you? Hi, I'm so happy that I am Team Sussex. Hi, love wins. Thank you for stopping in here. Are you enjoying the frantic activity going on in New York? Like I'm watching from behind the scenes and I literally almost cannot keep up. Hi, Lorna. How are you? How is everything? Hi, Rosalind. Hi. Oh, just when you are speaking, doing your videos, that's when people start calling you on the phone. Let me send a message. Just a second. Hmm. uh, let me call you later. Let me call you. Filming. Okay. Okay. Great. Uh. So where were we? Yes. So. Let me tell you, Harry is out here making power moves. You know when Cardi B sang Money Moves? Prince Harry's one is power moves. He just hits the Clinton Global Initiative, and I've got to say, this might be my favorite moment from him so far. Now, I'm not saying he hasn't been killing it elsewhere, but that speech at the CGI, chef's kiss. Mwah! Full of meaning, a sprinkle of swagger, and just the right touch of emotion. It was like watching a masterclass in public speaking with a royal twist, though. Oh my God, love to see it. Love to see it. Absolutely. Almost emotional just watching Harry doing his thing. So let me paint the picture of his activities before today's event. I'm not going to go in full detail because I'm sure that you've watched it ad nauseum on other channels, and we have quite a bit to talk about today. So I'll just keep it really brief as we do a quick summary on all the other things he has done since that we have seen since he got to New York. So we know that he has been kicking it with the likes of Queen Mathilde of Belgium. Oh, yeah. He's rolling deep with royalty and dignitaries, all to end child violence. And you know that this was an event hosted by Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus of the WHO. I know that I might be murdering these names, but I decided that instead of avoiding these names that might sound awkward rolling off my tongue, I'm going to keep on at it because the more I do it, the better I'll get at it. So if you're one of those people who he grates on their ears, hearing me mispronounce something while I'm trying to get good at doing so, I tender my apologies in advance. Okay, so this event that we're talking about was hosted by Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus of the World Health Organization, and it was organized by Project Everyone. They have these side events which are on of the United Nations General Assembly. It's so cool that he's able to be part of these things, and he's working his way up. And then the next day, Harry hit us right in the feels, recognizing two winners of the Diana Awards, saying how proud his mom would be of their work. I mean, oh, that I love how Harry and Meghan have this way of mixing like hard topics with the soft as well, the emotion with the hardcore subjects that they're discussing. They have this way of keeping a good mix of the two things, which makes it palatable. Like it's not too soft and it's not too hard. I just love that. This is the kind of stuff that makes you sit up straight and say, yeah, even if I'm trying to say that maybe they're uncaring or they do this for the cameras, they're just some things that just come to them naturally, which makes it impossible for you to say that this is just for the camera. I just love that about Harry and Meghan. And it didn't stop there. You know, Harry kept the momentum going, supporting the Halo Trusts, which he has been backing for years, even after stepping down from his royal duties. Talk about commitment, right? For those people who were asking, so what does Harry even do? What does he even do? Well, look at this. Look at this. He is showing you, he's telling you what he does. And then he hopped over to his old favorite African parks at the Concord Summit, where he participated in the discussions that were going on there. If you're going to support someone hardworking who loves what they do. Now, before we dive deeper into this discussion, let me pause for a brief second. If you're new here and you love the way we break down the stories, hit that subscribe button. Seriously, do it now. And for my loyal day ones, you know the drill. Like, share, and drop a comment. And before I continue, let me just look at a few of these comments in the chat. Yes, please go ahead and watch some of the shorts. They put a lot of time and effort in putting these together. Some of the things that I'm unable to catch during the live chats, I put them together in shorts for easy consumption. Lovewind says side events are a massive deal. Don't be fooled by how that name might sound. These have to be reviewed and approved by the UN. Oh, really? Oh, wow. That's good to know. And Marianne says, hi, Wizzy and everyone. Hello, how you doing? And Petra says, wet weather in the Cayman, but all dry with chicken foot. Chicken foot. So that sounds so cozy. Okay. So, guys, if you're going to be supporting someone, support someone who knows their business, who and has the energy behind it, is committed, is dedicated to his work as well, and he does it with grace. Yeah. So, and that, my friends, just happens to be Prince Harry. For day 2 of the events, it seems like Prince Harry was just getting started. It's obvious he has been working out, preparing for this marathon of events, because he was looking as fresh as yesterday when he just arrived. He did not look as exhausted as any other person who had been running from room to room or office building to office building, participating in speeches as well. If you've ever given a speech, you would know the high anxiety before you give the speech and the adrenaline rush you're still riding on after you're giving the speech can result in a huge crash at the end of the night. So for him to be looking so chipper and have how many more days of this to go to get through is amazing. Anyway, for me it was next level. I have to confess, my toxic trait is that I hate speeches. I really do. I hate speeches that anyone gives. Even if I had to give a speech myself, I would, no matter how interesting it is, how well prepared I am for it, I just hate speeches. So you can imagine that I would be one of those kids who would hate to receive like lectures where I'm being lectured at. I just could not stand it. I'd rather read a book than listen to a lecture. And so he but Prince Harry's speech, oh my God, I listened to I think his speech at the CGI was 11 minutes. I've listened to the whole thing, but I'm going to share a 1 minute clip with you guys, and then you will understand what I'm talking about. He has this way of pulling you in, making you care about something as important and technical as online safety for kids. And not only was it interesting, he actually made me think about it, because you can listen to a speech and feel indifferent about it, especially if you're not directly involved in the execution of the policy or the plan that's being promoted. But in this case, I actually was left thinking, like, okay, this sounds interesting. What's the roadmap for this project? How are the parents network going to secure these kids' online experiences? It drew me in. It made me think about what they were doing and how they were going to go about it. And before you, okay, and before you know it, I was busy here thinking, let me shut a lot of this. I have a lot of open windows, of windows currently open. Okay, let's see. I think that's caught it. Just a second, guys. I am echoing, so I'm just going to go out and come back in. Lovewin says, my close friend of over 30 years has worked at the UN for 25 years. She has an office in New York and in Rome, Italy. She's at the UNGA and she says, Prince Harry has breathed so much energy into this year. It feels like that, doesn't it? It feels like he has brought a lot of energy. It feels like he has brought a lot of energy into the entire assembly. Has some people are saying my sound is going in and out. Can you hear me now? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up in the comment section, please. Is Anyway, what I was saying was that Prince Harry's speech, it wasn't just somebody standing in front talking at me, um, discussing abstract concepts, but it was, he would make somehow made it relatable. It pierced the shield of boredom. Thank you very much, Lorna, for confirming that you can hear me. His speech pierced the shield of boredom. I think that's the best way to put it. How many of you caught the speech? Uh, if you didn't, and even if you did, I'm going to share a 30-second snippet with you guys. And let's see, so that you can see what I'm talking about. It was so good. Shocking. Hold on. They will be true. Kids may get into trouble. I know a thing or two about that. But our kids are being targeted. The harmful effects of social media are made by design. While we embolden both youth and parents, we must also hold digital platforms accountable. Surely, none of us want to live in a world where there is no consequence or accountability. Parenting doesn't end at birth of a child. Neither does founding a company. Whether parent or CEO, we have a duty and a responsibility to see our creations through. If corporations unabashedly lack responsibility, it doesn't mean we should do the same. Their platforms may be under our fingertips, but we have the fate of the future, their future, in our hands. You know how they say behind every great man is a woman? Oh my God, I don't think it has ever rung truer than in Harry and Meghan's case. Trust and believe. Oh my God, what she has done with that man, she has polished him all the way up. Harry brought that big and complex topic of online safety and put it right on our laps. You could almost hear every parent in the room going, "Yeah, this matters." And that's exactly what you want from a speech. You just take something massive and bring it home to the person. As I say, that is my own quote. You pierce the shield of boredom that can result from listening to someone making a speech. And Harry didn't just deliver a speech. Oh no, he shut it down so hard he got a standing ovation. Standing ovation from that speech. Yep. They were on their feet clapping, and I swear I saw a few people wiping away tears. That's when you know you've done something right. He's bringing visibility to projects that actually make a difference. And when Harry says he wants to move the dial, trust me, people are paying attention to every move he has made since he stepped down from working as a senior member of the royal family. There's so many paths and routes he could have gone down. He could have felt sorry for himself and gone into a downward spiral. But instead, he has been fighting his way all the way up under extreme challenges, more challenges than, I mean, I don't want to say more challenges than anybody in the world, because obviously there are people who have faced more. But I don't think that anyone can underestimate what Harry and Meghan have been through. And I would say Harry more particularly. Meghan's, while it is horrible to have a horrible father and a horrible siblings, I mean that's where Cinderella came from. But Harry's case is like his family is not just his family, but his institution as well. And it's like he was reborn when he met Meghan. And then he had to learn how to live life in a completely different way with these people he left behind fighting him, trying to prevent him from evolving into a better person. Can you imagine the mind? I want to say a different word, but I'm going to use the mind messery that must have caused for him. How that must have messed with his mind, because you're confused. And we even though a lot in the West, we're a lot more casual in the way we relate to our elders, there is this expectation that the older people even if they don't love you the way you see the other parents love their children, but you want to believe that they have your best interests at heart, only to grow up to realize that no, they don't really care. They have their own best interests at heart. Now they have their own best interests, and you are even if they said you were the spare, somehow you're deluded into thinking that okay, well, they say I'm a spare, but if the spare is not living it, if the spare is not able to do well, then they can't even carry out the function of spare. So you believe that in some way, shape, or form, maybe because you have access to the palaces, and that makes you feel that you are as important as the other people, only to realize after you step away that no, actually, you are being treated like crap. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm so happy for him, where he is right now, because he is on the path that, on his God-given path, is what I want to say. He is actually now fulfilling destiny. But of course, leave it to the media to focus on the wrong thing. I'm talking about the British media now, of course. They're the only ones who don't report the news, they don't report the facts of the news. Their way of reporting the news is to look for the negative angle all the time, especially when it relates to Harry and Meghan. Instead of covering what Harry actually did, they're over here nitpicking. The British tabloids are like, look at this headline. Prince Harry jokes about getting in trouble as a child and tells of his love for Archie and Lilibet in speech about dangers of social media during solo New York trip. Is that the only thing you have? You know, you mean out of all the things that Harry said in that great speech of his, all you got from it was that he said he was used to be in trouble when he was a child. He loves his children, Archie and Lilibet, and that he went solo to New York. Really? Really? You don't talk about the actual thing that he's discussing, even if you don't want to discuss him, the man. How about taking pride in your product? Because Harry is a product of the United Kingdom. So why don't you talk about UK's Prince Harry discusses online child safety? Don't discuss the man. Don't just say whether you love him or not, but at least take pride in your product. No, ho, 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 ho. Even if it means that we're going to tear ourselves down, we're going to tear him down because we're upset with him. This is wicked and vile witchcraft. Anyway, let's not also forget that they were out here trying to spread these wild divorce rumors. Meanwhile, one of the winners of the Diana Award told the Daily Mail, I'm sure they didn't even realize they were discussing with someone who was connected to the Daily Mail, that Prince Harry had FaceTimed his family just before he stepped onto the stage, effectively stopping that rumor in its tracks. And I'm so happy about that as well. But you know what this tells me? This tells me that Harry and Meghan are effectively fighting back every day against all the headlines that are being put out against them. Contrary to everyone's belief that they're ignoring them, they're not at all ignoring the headlines. Before we wrap up, let's talk about the recent US Weekly article. Now, you all might be tired as hell about hearing these ridiculous bullying allegations, but I got to say this to you, I got to discuss this article with you. It is a must read. For once, you have the US Weekly putting out a perfectly pleasant and positive article. It's a beautiful, it's the one of the best articles I've seen written about Harry and Meghan since they stepped back from working as senior members of the royal family, even by an American media company. They were out here debunking that mess with receipts. They've got Current and former staff like Catherine Saint Laurent saying they loved working with Harry and Meghan. Even Ashley Hansen, their global press secretary, talked about how Harry and Meghan went over and beyond when she needed surgery. She said Meghan was personally checking in on her every day. That's next level care. You know what? I want to work for Harry and Meghan. Someone need to tell me how I need to apply, please. What does this, as I said, this tells us that Harry and Meghan are out here fighting for their reputations every single day. They're not just sitting back letting the negative press pile up. So that means that whatever we see in the public, whatever allows is allowed to come out that we see is an overflow of what they are dealing with behind the scenes. And I say this particularly for those people who keep saying, oh, you don't need to say anything about this. Harry and Meghan have got this. Yeah, they've got it, but not without an extreme amount of effort. Although we would recognize them as people who are wealthy because they've got funds in the millions, but their funds are not limitless, you know? It doesn't, this level that we're actually seeing right now that makes the Sussex world bearable is a testament to how much work they're doing behind the scenes. That's what I'm trying to say. It's easy to pray, but faith without works is dead. And I'm not saying that I dismiss those people who come onto my channel and leave comments like, oh, don't worry, it's all going to go away. As I said, it's going to go away with time, but it's taking a lot of effort to even keep the media, the level of negativity down to where it is, where we are still screaming it's too much, is what I'm trying to say. And if it was as easy as people are saying, Harry and Meghan have got this, so we don't need to do anything, then they would have been done with it a long time ago. This has been going on for over 6 years. For those people who get tired, take a break and then come back. For those people who really want to help, and maybe you're thinking, what can I do to help? I would recommend that you jump in the fray. I mean, life is short. If you have a spare 1 hour in your day, going onto Twitter, liking and sharing positive posts about Harry and Meghan is a hugely funny pastime. It's a very productive pastime to get involved in because the war is actually being fought online. This is the thing, the war is being fought online. So we can't afford to just sit back and look away or just talk about it within ourselves. I know that I'm working behind the scenes on filing the UN petition. I'm so glad that Harry is getting in there doing the work among the UN people as well, because the the people who run the offices at the UN would also be watching and seeing the British media's reporting on what Harry is doing right now. So that when a petition is filed, it would not be something that is new to the people at the UN headquarters. But the thing is that for these things to happen, people are not just going to have to take on challenges like this because they're altruistic. Because there's a lot of political negotiation, should I say, involved in all of this. Everybody is checking what they stand to gain and what they stand to lose and their alliances. So it's not as easy or straightforward as it is. The only thing we can do is to keep then putting the pressure on the positive side of things. Anyway, so for today's task, on Activism Tuesday. I have put a link at the top of the chat. Let's head over to that link on Twitter and retweet the mess out of that US Weekly article. That is my task for this week. If you have a Twitter account, please go ahead to do so. For those people who say they don't have social media, it might be worth getting a Twitter account because that's where a lot of the battles are fought and won on behalf of Harry and Meghan. Crazy as it sounds, yeah. And Facebook and Twitter are where those battles are being won, fought and won. So if you don't have a Twitter account and you feel like you can stand it, go ahead, get a Twitter account. When you get the Twitter account, do a search on Twitter for the Sussex Squad, and you begin to see all the people who engage with Harry and Meghan's content. And when you see the people who engage with Harry and Meghan's content, the first rule of thumb on Twitter is don't say a word, just observe for the longest time, but like and share all the positive content that you find on there. But for today's Activism Tuesday event, please click the link. It's at the top of the chat. I have pinned it on there. Click the link, like, share, follow US Weekly as well. The reason why we do that is so that these people will know that there is engagement to be had when they publish positive stories. Please don't just listen to me and then move on to something else. If we're really serious about this battle, I urge you, please, as I'm speaking to you now, just click that link, go on to Twitter, like the post. It might seem like it is just such a useless thing. What does liking the post have to do? It means a lot to the organizations that publish these articles. They look out for the engagement. That's what determines what they're going to write about. When they see that negative posts get more engagement, then they write negative posts. But if they see that they can get engagement from positive posts, then they're going to do more positive posts than negative posts. I hope that makes sense. Let's do it. We can do it. Please, let's do it. It's free 99 to do it. All it takes, if you are the type who cannot navigate to Twitter and you've got friends around, let them take your phone and let them show you how to do it. If you've got children around, let them show you how to do it. If you've got grandchildren, just get onto it and tell them to teach you how to do it. What are we doing with ourselves if we don't do some good? What are we doing with ourselves? Harry is out here at his young age creating a legacy that he's going to leave behind. When he is gone, he's going to be known. This is a man who he's honored his mother with the Diana Award. He's honored his mother with the Halo Trust. He's honored himself and his wife with the Parent Network. That is the event he went for at the Clinton Global Initiative today. And he's also been to African parks. Can you imagine the variety of subjects he is able to discuss on? So clearly, he's not the dumb person that they were trying to promote him as being. But my point is that this is his legacy. If you say that you are doing this, then go ahead and support in this way because it is free 99 and you can do it. But for those people who have extreme anxiety and get stressed, please do not feel pressured to do anything. But for those who can manage it and just don't know where to go or how to start, my recommendation is click on the link, like the post, share it, Follow US Weekly. Follow them. Follow them. It's free 99. They don't ask for any money at all. Follow them. While you're out here, can I just get you to also while you're out here, can I get you to subscribe to my channel as well? If you're here for the first time and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe on this channel. Sometimes we do activism. Another day we do spotlights on other Sussex friendly content creators channels. And another day we do mess. Well, I don't do mess that much, but I try to do mess. Because my mess is so messy that I don't like to do mess online. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Let me look at your comments. Love says whether it goes away in the end or it doesn't, look at all those lives lost because of hate mongering. Yes, exactly. Oh no, I think let me scroll upward a bit. £1.29 a day is what's that about? I don't know. The Royal Rota is in third stage of denial. Doubts they will ever come out of grieving the loss of Harry. As a matter of fact, I wanted to even assign something else for today's Activism Tuesday. There's an article they wrote and said, Harry, you can come back, but you need to leave Meghan alone. That was a headline. That needs to be reported, but I think it's better to lean into the more positive articles than to pay attention to the negative ones. But that in itself is also something that needs to be handled and dealt with. What gives them the temerity to feel that is that news? That's not news. They're supposed to be out here giving us the news. How come they are putting out such negative headlines? Lovewind says Meghan bought her staff gifts out of her pre-marriage earnings. Why? They had no budget for this from Charles. Such a shame. Charles, wasn't he the one that said that they would not be able to afford Meghan? That they would not be able to afford to pay Meghan anything? Whether after chauffeur my kiddo to Rangers, girls, guys for older teens. Love you guys, especially my dear Wizzy. Thank you, love. The best at what she does. Thank you so much, my love. And have a good time at the Rangers. I love that activity. It's one of the kind of things that I would love to do when I am able to. Yes, Wizzy, Prince Harry has grown significantly and his speeches are top notch. He speaks confidently, clearly, and with command of the topic of which he is speaking. I'm telling you, I find that so sexy in a man. Not that I am ogling Meghan's man, but I really like that when a man is able to speak confidently, clearly, and with command of the topic. I hate a dumb man. And for him to be projecting these kind of qualities, the sharpening up, the leveling up is insane. Insane. I love it. Lulu Brown says, I'm not a tweeter, but I got an account to do as you just stated, like and sometimes repost positive Sussex word content. If you don't want to engage with the negative, go to positive Sussex channels. Yes, 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 absolutely. I only visit Sussex friendly channels. No time to waste with negativity. Had enough of that in my work life. Exactly. But I just really go on there to like, share, and follow the positive channels, especially channels that I can get information from. The rest of it, when I notice it, because the Sussex squad, they often do block parties where they have a list of people they want us to block who are just out here promoting negativity. I take my time to go through the entire list they provide, and I block every single person on that list. So that also keeps the negativity away. I find that sometimes when I do get into it with anybody on Twitter, it is usually with someone who is being extreme in the squad. Like they take something that somebody else is saying um, out of context, like this whole thing with the bullying allegations. There's a guy called Dre. I think I talked about it in one of my previous videos. He was the first one who alerted everyone that they are trying to bring up new bullying allegations, because when everyone saw the Hollywood Reporter article, they assumed that they were talking about the previous UK bullying allegations. But he said, no, these are new allegations, and Harry and Meghan need to get on top of these allegations in America, because once that sticks, then it poisons their working life in America. And the pile on from the squad on him was crazy. They were like, no, Harry and Meghan, they don't need to say anything. And he said, no, they do. This is not, you can, there's not everything that they can ignore. They can't ignore it, negative stories, when their business is involved. How else are they going to work? And people are not in this echo chamber that we're in, breathing Sussex news day in and day out. So they don't know that these are lies. So they need to come out fighting. And boy, did the Sussexes come out fighting. Oluwa Harry did it for me. Yes, Princess Meghan, they came out fighting, sending legal letters, the article in the US Weekly. Yes, now they give me something to work with. I am sharing out here. I'm talking about it. Yes, 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 absolutely yes. Um, I think I saw something when I was talking or struggling with the echo. I think someone gifted me some money. I'd like to say thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Um, Anyway, that's all I have. I know that Harry was at the meeting with the Queen of Lesotho later today. I think I'll do a short regarding that later. But yeah, he was with her. The respect when he walked into the room was amazing. Everyone stood up, and he gave a speech there as well. He even spoke a little bit of their language, and which everybody appreciated. So that was really lovely and nice to see. Okay, guys, so that's all I have for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, join the channel membership if you can. Special shout out to my moderator, Lorna. You are the real MVP. Thank you so much. That's it from me. This is Wheezy signing out. Stay blessed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.